Welcome to the With You Rugby Podcast, designed to give you an in-depth look at the United States Rugby Foundation, including our grant programs and recipients, fundraisers, events, and much more. Now let's get started.
Hello, and welcome to the US Rugby Foundation With You Podcast. I'm Jon Hinkin, the COO of the US Rugby Foundation. As we'd like to do every summer, we want to get to know our incoming Hall of Fame class a little bit better, and we have a very exciting class in 2026 again this year. The US Rugby Hall of Fame, presented by Major League Rugby, will be in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, August 14th, and at the Renaissance Fort Lauderdale Marina Hotel. You can find tickets to the event at our website, usrugbyfoundation.org. That week, in conjunction with USA Rugby, there will be many coaching clinics, stakeholder meetings, and other rugby events, including a test match with the USA men playing Argentina on August 15th. So a very exciting week of rugby in Fort Lauderdale this August. Hey, let's get to know the newest member of the Hall of Fame and class of 2026, Ed Ayub. Ed, welcome to the show.
Hello. Hi.
There you go. There you go. So, hey, I am very, very excited to have this interview because, A, I've known you ever since I really almost started playing rugby. So back in 91, 90, whenever it was back then. And, I know you've been receiving phone calls of congratulations. I've actually been receiving phone calls on congratulations for you. So it's people that just don't have your number anymore. So I will get the list together and pass them all on to you. But there have been people reaching out all the time. That's how much you were loved, not just here in San Diego, but around the country and even around the world. So, Ed, you were in the physical therapy side of things. You weren't a rugby player, but obviously you influenced a whole generation plus of rugby players. Where was your childhood an athletic childhood? Did you always enjoy sports?
I always enjoyed sports. Yes, I was raised in Chula Vista. I played high school football and wrestling. And then I didn't play any sports after that. I went to junior college preliminarily, and then I went up to Long Beach State to get my physical therapy degree. And then I moved to Georgia to get my orthopedic master's degree.
There you go.
I was kind of busy, didn't have a lot of time. I did surfing for a sport, and that was about it. I pretty much just stick to school.
There you go. Where did you meet your lovely wife, Mary, along that trek? Was it during the school years, or when did you come back to San Diego?
Yeah, I was already back in San Diego, and I met her. She lived here also and was raised here. And I met her through her work environment, and it just progressed from there.
As it does. Well, as it does. So your introduction to rugby came through another Hall of Famer, Bing Dawson. Is that true?
It is, because he was a football coach at Castle Park High School. And I got involved since I had an office at Castle Park High School is in Chula Vista. I had two physical therapy offices. One was in Chula Vista. And we had a deal with the school district to provide medical services to the games and an injury clinic on Saturday morning. Bing Dawson was the coach of Castle Park, and no high school, not one of them, had a trainer or anybody on the field for injuries. They left it all into basically coach's hands.
So just
rub
some dirt on it. Some dirt on it was medical advice back then.
Yes, absolutely. And because I was already involved with Bing through football, that's how I got involved and went and became the trainer and started a training program at Castle Park. And it progressed from there. Bing got involved then with rugby and said, hey, there's nobody here. You got to help. And I stayed in high school football, but I also got involved with rugby following Bing.
So what years was that football, kind of the king of high school sports, didn't have any medical on the sidelines. That seems amazing to me.
That was in the early 70s.
Wow. Well,
Yeah,
you know,
nobody.
we're gonna say you made that change as well. Why not? Because there are full medical teams on sidelines now. It is a thing.
But back then it was done anywhere. Nothing.
That's amazing. That's amazing to me. And so that's almost the foresight into rugby. So when did you come on to OMBAC with Bing then? Or was that the first team that you were with Bing? Was it OMBAC?
Yes. No,
Okay.
I remember I started off at his high school, and then when he transitioned to OMBAC, I got involved and started a program with OMBAC for field and traveling coverage, and it kind of grew from there. There was individuals involved with the USA Rugby team back then who were a part of our fan base and leadership base. And because they saw what I got involved with at OMBAC, they said, and then they traveled with the USA team and had nothing. They said, let's get involved there. And I said, of course.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Let's do it.
So I will admit that I was on the table at your offices a few times during my career. And I would often look to my left and right and see many other teammates, but not just OMBAC teammates, to your point right there. There were internationals that would come to San Diego to get your assistance, to get your help.
Well, I was a part of the team, and it was unique in their careers to have somebody involved with attending every training session and every game and getting to know them and establishing a relationship where I gained their trust. And they gave me the confidence that whatever decision I made, they went with. They trusted me and allowed me to do my job.
Yes. And that was great. Again, you were the tip of the spear when it came to that sort of PT recovery and being there all the time. I remember, just on the OMBAC level, how jealous clubs were that we had professional medical staff with us everywhere we went.
Out and tried to duplicate what we started
100%
for their own environments. So
yes, which is great.
Good.
That's fantastic. I mean, rising tide floats all boats. If everybody had that sort of commitment level, then everybody's a better player for it.
Yes.
You immediately, if I could say that, kind of to your point, were brought on to the national team level because they said San Diego's got something cooking out there that is fantastic. So you've been to many World Cups, starting in '87, yeah?
Yes.
Oh,
World
my
Cups,
goodness.
games, all over the planet, playing different countries, traveling with the team.
I mean, 85 test matches. My goodness. I think you're the record cap holder now.
I don't keep track of those things, John.
No, but I do. There you go. But we're going to call you the record cap holder. Just because you've had 85 of them. Why not? Right?
I didn't even know I had 85, but that's
that's what history is telling me. But you were doing it for 23 years though, or something like that. That was the other thing, because back then, when we started, there were only a couple of test matches a year, really.
Yes.
And then, on the 7 size, it was a couple test matches in Hong Kong. That was kind of your international calendar.
Yes.
For a long time. And it's obviously gotten much more robust on both 15s and 7s. And there's no way one person would be, I think, able to cover these types of things. But because the schedule back then isn't like it is today, you were able to cover 7s and 15s. And anytime a jersey was put on, you were there, and your staff.
Tried.
You didn't try, you did.
Of my family and children, and my coworkers that allowed me to go travel with the team and leave the clinic. So I wasn't treating patients.
Yeah.
And,
Well,
with all their support, it worked out.
it did work out. And again, you always picked the right people because they gave you that support. Um, what was your first big international highlight that you remember? Your earliest, would it be your first match? Would it be the first World Cup? What do you think?
I hardly remember what the first one was, or where it was. I'm not real sure which country it was that the team visited, but I know we got deeply involved with sevens going to Hong Kong because that was
Oh
well
yeah.
established,
Yeah.
and used to travel there, and get going with work there. But as the teams got more recognized and capable of traveling to foreign countries where rugby was established, we could compete with them.
Yeah.
And we had the players, the skills, the coaching, the support to compete internationally. That was a big part of the progression and players' skills. We got better players,
We
better
had good
coaches,
athletes.
better
And again,
training, better
we had
athletes.
healthy athletes. So that
Yeah.
helped.
Thanks to the coaching, we had better training and
Yes.
organization and
Yep.
support.
And they understood, I think, the importance of bringing on the complete team, not only coaching, but again, the medical side of it, that again, that was always a team. It was never, for me, it was never just you and Bing at OMBAC, or never just Bing at OMBAC. It was you and Bing kind of did everything and all that kind of stuff. And then on the national teams, it was always, whatever coach, but you were the consistent.
I tried.
That was there the whole time, and that was fantastic.
I tried because I really enjoyed it.
Yes, well, it was your energy also, I think, that was so infectious. You told terrible jokes, but you told them very loudly, and you laughed. So
That's true.
yeah, and
I
that
still
was.
do.
But those were the great times,
They were very fun times.
Yeah. Again, is there any of the traveling, anything that sticks out? I know you mentioned Hong Kong. I mean, is there a Joe Bananas story that you could share, or anything from Hong Kong that you'd like to share from that tournament? Because that was so iconic.
We learned to recognize that this wasn't a vacation. It was work. And as work, we had to treat ourselves the same way. It was very easy to escape and go out on the streets and do things that weren't in the best interest of keeping a person fit or safe.
Right.
So we set up rules also, drinking alcohol, going out and going to bars and messing around. So, and in those foreign countries, we learned there was a lot of things that we didn't do in the United States that were just right out there in the open in the foreign countries. So I had to have a few rules, and it was setting up those rules that we established. Like we always used my room in the hotel as a training room. Any player could come in. We also used it as a room that was a team room where we put movies on my TV screen, and the players could come in and entertain themselves because they had no place to go. I wanted to do things that reassured them, stay out of the street. We're here for you. Stay here with us.
Yeah.
And innings, that wasn't the case. It was set up individually for go enjoy the country that you're in. And no, not my team members, because we have to keep them professional.
Yeah.
Out of trouble.
Right.
So,
and you had that balance, I think, done perfectly, where people, they understood, we were there for a job. And we understood.
We gave them rules.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we gave them a foundation to say, you're elite athletes with an elite job. Treat yourself as such.
Right.
And, be professional.
And that may be the
professional environment.
Right. And that may be the first time a lot of these players probably heard that, because many may not have come from a professional environment before. And so once they got there, it was, hey, okay, I gotta stand up and be straight here.
Well, that's why we tried to set up an environment that was
Yeah.
conducive to the players staying in the hotel and staying together as team members. They ended up giving me a larger room because
Yeah.
all the players couldn't come into a regular sized room and hang out. I always had food available for them.
Oh,
Uh,
I remember.
One of our sponsors was Gatorade, and we had Gatorade beverages for them. And like I said, we would watch things on my TV. Uh, it was a place for them to go and stay together.
So with that, a lot of orthopods also from the San Diego area came and went through you to become onto the national team. I remember like people like David Chow kind of thing. What was your relation? Sorry?
There was a few of them.
Lee Rice is another name that pops into my mind.
Lock Vetter.
Lock Vetter, rest his soul. There were a lot of them that you had great relationships not only with players, but what about with the orthopods or the team docs? How was that?
Well, because I got involved with them and actually invited them to come and participate, and we made it a situation where the players knew these were team officials and organized, because at games they ran on the field, they took care of them in the medical tent, they provided aftercare service in their clinics, testing and even surgery or whatever care was necessary for them to recover, evaluations. Now, each of those doctors had rugby backgrounds and sports medicine backgrounds, so getting involved with this new sport in San Diego was they had as much fun with it as I did.
Yeah.
And they enjoyed coming to the games, because they felt that the environment was good for them, and they provided a valuable service that was also good for them.
Yeah.
To come and practice on-field training and transfer the work over to their clinics when necessary, do surgeries, evaluations, x-rays, other diagnostic tests, and even with like a concussion, follow-up care to determine when is it suitable for this individual to return to a contact sport.
Right.
It worked out a good working relationship between coaches, medical staff, and myself as part of the medical staff.
Yeah, and as we've mentioned before, I think today's players, having the medical team there is almost like of course we have a medical team. What do you mean you didn't have a medical team?
Well, these doctors were all involved in professional sports.
Right.
And all of those had professional teams there. We just made it the same environment.
Yeah.
Why they were content to come and be a part of that environment, because their professional environments had the same format, and we involved our office like a training room to these individuals and players, and offered for them to come in and be treated and follow up care as part of their rehabilitation and medical coverage.
What were some medical highlights for you that you can recall? Maybe someone that had a big injury, but you got them back earlier than expected, and then they were able to play, or things like that. Anything stick out for you there?
It was so involved, John, with so many individuals.
Yeah, you were.
It's hard for me to remember any of that stood out. Suffice it to say, I relied on the doctors to provide the medical side of it. They did the diagnostic tests, screenings that were available to treat these individuals just like professional athletes, just like the Chargers were treated.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or
It was
any
the
other
same staff.
Exactly. So, and to provide them with the aftercare of the training room environment in our clinic, where we worked with them regardless of whether they paid or not paid, to provide them with care. They weren't left out, hanged out to dry. So we took care and provided service.
Yeah, and you had a great team. Little Phil, how
Phil
was on the team? Was it?
Ovino.
Yeah, Phil Opino, and Janine, the one that was blonde-haired one. I think she moved from Minnesota.
Casey?
No, Casey. Of course, how could I not remember Casey straight away? Casey was great. This was before Casey, but Casey. Oh my God, she was
Well, because of the
omnipresent.
environment and having clinic as part of where these players all came into, they got as emotionally attached to the players. We worked in an open environment. We didn't have, as you remember, individual rooms. So they got to witness it all and feel that they had a true athletic environment, care environment, when players came in and rehab.
Yeah. There were no secrets.
No secrets. But we followed all the care from the professional doctors. And the doctors followed all the professional advice and care from us as part of their support team.
So, again, 23 years. I think the last World Cup you might have been involved in was 99. And then did you take a step back? A step back from international, but you carried on with OMBAC locally.
I did get involved. I stay involved with OMBAC.
Yeah.
Until I sold my clinics and sold my environment, so I didn't have a practice anymore in physical therapy. So when I gave that up, I gave up the teams, and all that care was transferred on to different people.
Well, you set the bar so high, and that has carried on for so long that, I mean, there's, to your point, thousands and thousands of players, and it didn't matter to you whether they were a D3 player or world class. They got all the same treatment, and that was the beauty of it, because and especially in the 90s, that whole decade and early aughts, where you could have D3s running into internationals all the time, that type of thing. And, it was, everybody felt welcome. Everybody knew they were getting the best care, and it didn't matter who you were. If you had a rugby jersey on, you're in.
Well, we were there to provide that service to them. That was our obligation and commitment. So medically and physical therapy and athletic training wise.
Afterwards, after the career, you've sold your practice. Did you, your kids and Mary, did you guys do traveling and stuff and kind of try to not make up for lost time, but you did do a lot of traveling on your own? Was this more of a time for family type?
Well, we became more involved with educating the children, being home for them, and making sure they had an environment now that they were older.
Yeah.
Where they were safe and weren't treading on the evil side of being younger. and we stay supportive to be a family for them that made an example of what to be like.
Yeah.
So it was part of our transition.
Right.
Parents instead of trainers and physical therapists.
Yeah. Yeah. And so instead of taking care of thousands, you were taking care of two.
Well, with my wife too. That was my wife, Mary.
Right.
And my son, Josh, my daughter, Nicole.
Yep.
That was our family.
Yeah, absolutely. And, that there were still a lot of times I remember going over to Sunset Cliffs and hanging out at your house there.
That's where I'm at.
Because we're all still part of that. We all still feel part of that family.
Yeah.
And in fact, your daughter Nicole is going to be accepting the award in Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
As you just won't be able to make it, and that's okay. It's a long ways away.
It's a long ways away, and she lives in New York, so that's the short way for her. And she's excited to be there.
Yes.
And I appreciate her work and commitment to her father.
Well, I think they call Florida as New York South anyway. That's in the so that's I'm sure she'll have a lot of friends there no matter what.
To be
So
determined.
you were admitted into the or inducted, excuse me. I use medical terms. You were admitted. No, you were inducted into the USA Rugby Sports Medicine Hall of Fame
Yes, I was.
a while ago, and now you're in the Hall of Fame. Any difference of emotion, or do you feel that those are similar type awards
The
or
recognition
recognitions?
is what is so exciting for me, that all that work, excuse me, effort and support from my family for allowing me to travel and spend all the time that I needed to work with this to make it play out. It was just a wonderful scenario. I
Yeah,
was It fulfilled uh, obligations that I wanted to have as part of my orthopedic and sports physical therapy commitment. The family supported me, allowing me to be gone for long periods of time away. The clinic and office supported me, employees allowing me to travel and do this commitment. Everybody liked it and supported it. Everybody thought it
yeah,
was a wonderful commitment to a United States of America.
yeah,
And uh, that's what we provided, and that's what we did. We didn't go out and party, and
yeah,
especially my room, because my room was the room, even after the games, where players could come in and stay, and they didn't have to go out to bars and
yeah.
sell.
They didn't feel that. They didn't have to have that pressure on them.
They didn't have to have that pressure of going out on the
Right.
streets and going out and doing those things. So it worked out, and the support of my family was what was so terrific. They each loved it, were very proud of me, and told me that repeatedly.
Oh, and again, as I said in the very beginning here, I've received multiple phone calls and texts and emails. Hey, Ed Ayub, woohoo, woohoo! This type of thing. So
Wonderful.
that's phenomenal. And then you had a stranger call you the other day, Tiny
Yes,
McLaughlin. That
yes.
you know he was so funny. He goes, I really wanted to reach out to him and thank him. He goes, I was there maybe 18 months to 2 years, and I was a Navy guy, so I wasn't even around. But he made a very big impact on me in that brief time, and that's I think that's the best tribute you can get.
Yes.
It didn't matter if they were there for. I mean, you've known me for forever. You're sick of me, but even the people that have been here for a few years were were very touched by the commitment that you had.
Well, how touched I am that they were appreciative enough of the service I provided to be able to let it be known their emotions and feelings and support. And for USA Rugby to pat me on the back and say thank you, and to host me up there and make me a lasting member of their union is truly an honor and a pleasure that is hard to duplicate with anything else in life.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
a
that's
very big
that's the
pat.
top. There is no top above this one, right?
Well, it's looking back on it all and realizing how much work and effort went into it.
Yeah.
And for now, all those involved to turn around and say thank you.
If could you possibly sum up your career and what you've done and what you produce, would there be one word that would keep coming back to you at all?
Lucky.
There you go. There you go.
It
Yeah.
fit in with what my work goals were. It fit in. All the work goals that I worked for, my family was proud of me,
Yeah.
and to gain that pride of my family and friends and community was worth it all. To have the pride of what you guys are doing right now, I can't tell you the pleasure that it gives to me. It's like nothing else in my life. Uh, I can tell you is as much happiness as what's happening right now with this award.
Oh,
Just
that's
the fact
fantastic.
that they appreciated what I did, and I love it. Fantastic.
Very good, my friend. Hey, that's about the time we have for this
Okay.
podcast. I know I've got to sign off with you in a way that you would enjoy, but it's going to be, huzzah!
Thank you, Jon.
I
It's a real
remember a
pleasure.
thousand.
Thank you
I
very
remember
much.
1,000 huzzahs from you, so I'm giving you one back.
Those were the days.
That's
And they're
it.
wonderful days.
They are. They are.
Thank you
I
very
look
much for
forward to
your time and
Nicole.
effort.
Sorry.
Thank you for your time and effort,
It's
and
truly
everybody involved.
my honor from this side. Truly my honor.
I have
when
the
I
same
saw your
honor on
name
my
come up.
side.
When I saw your name come up, that one hit home more than most. So
I appreciate it.
Jon, we
All
all
right.
do too, because we were very proud of him during those years. Thank you.
You're welcome, Mary. You're welcome. So I'll sign off in the very Ed way.
Okay.
I started off as
Yeah.
Hinkin, and I'm Hink out.
Hink out.
Hink out.
Thank you. Bye.